All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're talking about the very first step of any cloud migration. And honestly, it's the most important one. We're talking about creating the blueprint, the actual map that's going to guide your entire journey. Moving to the cloud can seriously feel like you're trying to cross a minefield. It's just full of these hidden costs, these crazy, unexpected dependencies, and all this technical debt that's just waiting to blow up your project. It is so easy to take a wrong step. So that brings up a huge question, and I want you to really think about this. Out of everything that can go wrong, what is the number one reason that these big, complex, expensive cloud projects just completely fail? And the answer, it's almost disappointingly simple. It happens all the time. Teams get so excited about the cloud, about the scalability, the cool new tech, and they start running. They leap into the journey without a map, with no idea what's actually in front of them. This quote just nails it perfectly. Think about it. You would never, ever tell a construction crew to just go build a house without giving them a detailed blueprint, right? Well, skipping the discovery phase of a migration is exactly that. Sure, you might get a few things running, but the whole thing is just fundamentally unstable, and it's going to come crashing down. So, what's the fix? Well, it's creating that blueprint. In our world, we call this the discovery and assessment phase. And listen, this is not just boring paperwork. This is the strategic foundation for literally everything that follows. So let's be super clear about what this means. Discovery and assessment is just the process of gathering all the important details about your current IT setup. That's it. The whole point is to create a smart, data-driven plan for your move. It's about knowing exactly what you have before you decide where to put it. And this slide, wow, it really shows you the night and day difference. On the left, when you try to do this blind, it's just chaos. Dependencies you didn't know about cause downtime. You end up spending a fortune on resources that are way too big. And security gaps, they pop up when it's way too late. But look at the right side. With a blueprint, everything changes. Your costs are predictable, the move is smooth, your resources are the right size from the get-go, and you actually have a clear shot at hitting your business goals. It's a no-brainer, really. Okay, enough with the theory. Let's make this real. How does this blueprinting thing actually work in practice? We're going to walk through a real-world example and map out a pretty typical application stack. So we're going to look at a standard multi-tier app. You know the kind. It's the sort of thing that's running in thousands of data centers right now. It's got a web server, an app server for all the heavy lifting, a database, and some really important integrations. This is where the real detective work starts, and it's actually pretty cool. We start taking inventory. Okay, the web server is Apache. It's stateless. Awesome. That's easy to migrate. But then, we hit the JBoss app server. It's stateful with really complex logic. That's a whole different ballgame. And then you get to the database. It's an old Oracle version, it has a massive 2 terabyte dataset, and it has these critical API links to outside partners. Every single one of these findings is a huge clue for building our plan. And see, those clues lead directly to our strategy. First, we analyze the dependencies. That API gateway has to work no matter what. Can't break it. Second, we figure out what's most important. That database and app server, they're mission critical. They need the white glove treatment. And because we know this, we can pick the right migration strategy for each part. We can just rehost the easy web server. That's a simple lift and shift. We can re-platform the app server, moving it to a more modern cloud service. And that big old database, we can plan to refactor that later on down the road. Now, you're not doing all this with just a spreadsheet and a bit of luck. There's a whole toolkit that architects use to draw these blueprints accurately and, not lose their minds. We're not going to get into specific brands here, but you should know about the types of tools. You've got automated discovery tools that can map out your whole network for you. Your CMDB, if you have one, is an absolute goldmine. APM tools will tell you how your apps actually perform in the real world. And seriously, never ever underestimate the power of just talking to the business stakeholders who use these things every single day. All right, let's bring it all home. Let's boil this all down to a final, super actionable checklist. Before you draw a single thing on a whiteboard, you need to have this stuff ready. Here they are, the 4 absolute must-haves for your blueprint. Number 1, a full inventory of every single app. Number 2, a complete map showing how they're all connected. Number 3, an inventory of your data, especially knowing what's sensitive. And finally, number 4, a clear ranking of how important each app is to the business. You get these 4 things down, and you've got your blueprint. You're ready to go. Look, building this map, it takes work. I'm not gonna lie. But it's the work that turns a risky gamble into a strategic, predictable project. It's what makes sure you don't just get to the cloud, but that you get there successfully. So the only question left is, your map is drawn? Are you ready for the journey?